Hello, welcome back to this channel. My name is Perry Zhang, and this is almost like a podcast going through some of the things I learned over my entrepreneurial journey. It's designed for me to look back on what I have done and to kind of learn the lessons I learned. So today I want to talk about how to keep going. We are doing well in the millions of ARR, and we are growing, without divulging too much, close to doubling every year. And we have a very clear path towards going into a eight-figure business. But it's going to take, a couple of years and so on. So we have a steady, predictable business that's growing. We have raving fans. We have great customers. And I really enjoy what I do. So that's the plus sign. The negative sign is when I tune into any YC news or venture capital news. People are raising hundreds of millions of dollars for their AI startup. Lovable and Replit go from $0 to $200 million in a matter of months. Cursor and Windsurf and these AI coding, vibe coding startups, which are consumer-based in nature, hit hundreds of millions of dollars in a matter of months. And we are here kind of just grinding along, increasing steadily. And those are the companies that grab all the headlines. On one hand, I could be proud of myself. And then on the other hand, I'm not working hard enough. We are left behind. We're not even relevant. So then the question is, how do you keep going? And this is in the moment, right? So if I look back on this 10 years from now, you're like, hey, yeah, we did pretty well. We are very successful. We are very durable. But before that happens, without knowing the future, how do you keep going? I don't know the answer. I actually don't know. There is a interesting point of view that the fact that I am self-aware that I feel like I need to keep going. But there's the other side of it, which is this is a funny example where I was telling my parents that, in 10 years or so, we're going to most likely have a $20 million, ARR business. We'll probably sell it for $100 to $200 million. That's the baseline. But if we expand our vertical SaaS to do more things in the real estate space, we have the potential to be a $200 million ARR company in 10, 15 years. So it's 10x the difference. And my mom actually has a very good comeback question, which is, why does it matter? Why do you want the $200 million ARR instead of the $20 million ARR? Either way, you have generational wealth. Either way, you are set. Why try so much harder? And honestly, I don't know the answer to that question. I do not know. I don't know because I can name that if it's more defensible, because if you do a 20 million, it could very well be you're not growing at all. It might be employee churn because if you're not growing, they're F you, I'm leaving. It could be just that I have this intrinsic drive that I want to build something great. But at the same time, I also very know that could be just the next, hedonic treadmill that I'm on. Which just brings me a very interesting point. I don't think the most successful entrepreneurs even ask themselves that question. They're just go, go, go. You see the $100 million offers by Mark Zuckerberg to buy out this talent. They're just I want to be the biggest. I don't care what you think. And the fact that I have that silver of self-doubt of is this even worth it? Means I'm not on that spectrum. It's not a good thing, to be clear. It's this self-doubt actually is one of the biggest deterrents of being a generational entrepreneur. I don't live in San Francisco. And as a result, I'm not surrounded by people that normalize going big or going home. But I still feel a huge sense of pressure. So now let's talk about 99% of the time I want to create a large company, and we are nowhere close to the rocket ship that these Lovable and Replit and Cursor are experiencing. What do you do? Honestly, there's a little bit of a shame in that I'm not working hard enough. The team is not working hard enough, maybe. Can I push the team harder? Should I hire more people? Should I go big or go home? Or, which is my next point, I check the engine. And if things are fine, and this is a really good direction we're going, we are going to land there. We're going to get there. We're going to go from Seattle to Lincoln, Nebraska, sometime in the next 5-10 years. And I specifically say Seattle and Nebraska and not New York because we are basically bringing technology into everyday person. And Nebraska, I can call it, is like the Omaha of the financial world. We are basically bringing real estate financial world specifically. So that's my vision. And I checked the engine. If the engine is still roaming, we're still driving at 75 miles per hour, it's good. We'll get there. And don't worry about the folks that maybe create a rocket ship that go from San Francisco to New York overnight. Fundamentally, I feel like that's not the business I have created. And this is going to be a 20-year overnight success. And I have to constantly remind myself that this is how long it's going to take. So be it. So then what things to check? Like, it doesn't mean that that's after checking it, I'm done. Like, it's no excuse for slacking off, quote unquote. So the things I'll check, at least I can tell myself a day after day after this video, is, are we getting demos? If the answer is yes, cool, good. Are we converting them? And if there are some things I can do to increase the conversion, I should do that. Or teach the team things we can do collectively by discussing it together, ways to improve. We should do that. So are we getting demos? Are we converting? Am I personally talking to customers? And if I'm talking to at least 2 customers a day, that is sufficiently good. But if I'm talking to 1 customer a week, that's terrible. I need to change that. I don't have enough fire in that case. The third one is, are we expanding our product line? And the answer is yes. That's probably a decision that I make almost unilaterally. And then the last one is, are we shipping things? If we're not shipping things, and if ABC is supposed to ship last week and it still didn't ship last week, and it has to wait until the Thursday of the next week, then we got a huge problem. I used to joke that the death of the startup doesn't happen when the bank account goes to 0. The death of the startup happens when the team loses a sense of urgency. I still believe that. But at the same time, that having the sense of urgency should not come from that, like, oh, we are so behind compared to the Replit and the Lovable of the world, but from the fact that, hey, is the engine still running at a rate in which I believe is sustainable in the long run? So don't slack off, but don't try to reinvent the business and try to be a rocket ship when we're not. Eventually, at the equilibrium, we're going to be amazing because we're going to continue to grow at this pace for a long time because we keep expanding the market. But in the short term, we don't have that kind of like, 1,000x in like a couple years, that kind of thing. And also, if I put myself in the shoes of Cursor and Replit, they have a lot of competition. People are dumping money into it. Their growth will eventually slow down. That's a fact of life. Like, there's no way their growth will be that like forever. They also have a separate problem. If it goes down, how do their founders deal with it, right? If they take on so much money, how's their dilution looking? If they make such big offers and promising a lot, there is always this human dissatisfaction in the world. So I'm in the middle of a journey, and I'm starting to appreciate what it means to keep doing what we're doing. So that's my little schmeal, how to keep going. And because I don't have the future in front of me, it's not looking backwards, it's looking forward. So these videos are gonna be super interesting. I hope they age well, or they age terribly, and I might change my mind and really fundamentally change the business. Most likely not. So thank you for listening to this kind of podcast style where I just kind of ramble on what's on my mind week over week. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.